I have given Doug Walker a lot of shit over the years.
Ugly ass house. Seriously, look at the goddamn walls. I fucking hate his house.
But that's only because I'm so disappointed in who he's become. There was a time where the Nostalgia Critic was all I watched on YouTube, or that guy with the glasses back in the day, and I looked forward to his uploads every week. I remember getting excited for the anniversary films and his return and NC 2.0 and enjoying them in my teens. Notice how I skipped Demo Reel. That's because Demo Reel does not exist. But as I got older and the not so awesome documents came out and Doug's content got worse, I'm looking at you, The Wall. He lost me, and that's why we're here today, where I've made 2 videos criticizing him. So I wanted to go back, look at some of the stuff he made that I think is good, maybe give him some credit just to balance things out, and make it so I can go back to criticizing him in the future again. This is the top 11 pieces of Doug Walker content I still enjoy. Why top 11? Because this is a Doug Walker video, so I'm going to do his shtick. I'm going to do it. Number 11. Cartoon Network bumpers. I think it's obvious, but I am not a fan of modern Nostalgia Critic. The last time I regularly watched was probably 2017, and even then it was maybe only every few episodes. I've checked in every now and then, usually just to see what movies he's done and to see if he's still using his cast, but it's been years since I watched a full NC video front to back. However, I got nostalgic one day and wanted to watch some old Cartoon Network bumpers and discovered that Doug had done a video on them somewhat recently. I put it on and have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Doug included a lot of bumpers I had never seen, and so it kind of acted like a mini educational / historical video. At the very least, it was cool to see someone give light to one of my dumbest fascinations and give it the time and respect it deserved. This is almost akin to Defunctland's Disney Channel bump music video from last year, where both guys took something that people tend to gloss over and give it their shine. There wasn't a mystery here or someone Doug could point to as a director of these bumps' success, but still, giving some credit is better than none. The reason why this is so low on the list, despite how much I liked it, is just that Doug's present-day humor does nothing for me. I'm going to try and not criticize him that much in this, but I just have to show you a clip of what I mean so you get it.
Fred shows up in another one where he's denied service at a gas station by a character that, I could be wrong, but I guess is probably wouldn't fly today.
I can sell you flip-flops. No server.
So, you're saying I can't buy shoes because I don't have shoes?
And you, blue dog, no pets.
He sounds just like my karate instructor. It is funny, though, as he bands together with other cartoons to try and get somewhere.
Can I get some service, please, sir?
Horseshoes, that's not shoes.
These are horseshoes.
Who?
Shoes!
And you have to have pets.
That sign doesn't say pants.
We have a naked Fred Flintstone on a bumper for a kids' network. This is too much right.
Number 10, a back credit card. I just got done criticizing Doug for his humor, but I do just want to share a moment I still find funny to this day. This is probably the NC bit, his calling card, if you will. I don't know. Maybe this is the nostalgia talking and not the quality of the bit, but I just enjoy this a lot. I think the total devotion to the act here is what sets it apart. And it was before all of Doug's bits were just him saying something zoomery and pausing for a few seconds.
2 million.
3 million.
4 million.
7 million. Never leave the cave without it.
A bat credit card? They gave him a bat credit card? They had the balls to give one of the greatest superheroes of all time a bat credit card? No! No! Does not compute! Does not compute! It does not compute! I can't sign! I apologize for that outrage. It was childish and immature. I just get a little peeved when I see one of my childhood icons carrying a bad credit card, you bastards! I'll kill you! I'll kill you, all of you! All of you will die! You'll get the gas! My childhood, will you? You'll all die! You will all die!
Number 9, the anniversary brawl. I don't think this is a perfect video by any means, but I do think it's the best anniversary film. It's relatively short compared to Suburban Nights and definitely to Boldly Flee, so it never feels like it's overstaying its welcome. Since this is the first one, the aspect of getting to see all these creators together in the same room still had its entire appeal. Hell, this beat YouTube Rewind by a few years. There's a clear effort into giving these creators actual bits that play off their online personas, and there's no weird forced romance into this. From what I remember of the Not So Awesome docs, this was also the one anniversary film that didn't really have any production problems. I'm not sure about all the financials, but this whole film was shot in a hotel in Chicago, so I assume no one was suffering from a lack of water or food. and no one had to see Doug's ugly house, so that probably helps too. Number 8, top 11 films I love but everyone else hates. This is just a Doug video, but I always enjoyed these sort of Doug vlogs that he would do periodically where he would just talk about movies without being under the guise of the NC. I actually quite like this setup of movies that everyone else hates but you love. Doug and I actually agree on one, that being Spider-Man 3, which I hope to review soon. I think Doug is actually a smart guy when it came to movies and he knows his stuff. I enjoy almost all of his editorials because of this, when he's stripped down and not trying to be funny. I think he's actually a good critic, even if I don't agree with him. I just wish that he let that side out more in his NC videos than he normally does.
And he oversteps his bounds. I like that. I thought that was very realistic for a Spider-Man movie, you know. But the other thing that I really like is that Mary Jane finally, you know, is trying to become this three-dimensional character, and she has problems too. And nobody in this relationship is just right or wrong. It's that she's having these problems. She needs someone there to support her. You know, like she's been there to help support him, and he can't be there. And that is a typical relationship problem, that someone needs support and the other person can't be there. There's just too much going on. And it's the first time I felt like, I'm concerned. I want to see them stay together, but these are real issues.
Number 7, The Room. This is actually the video that I discovered The Room with. I had never heard of this movie until Doug's review, and it's been an obsession of mine ever since. I remember thinking Doug's review was the funniest thing I'd ever seen, especially with the little bit about the flowers and the dog, and I always loved his Tommy impression.
What a funny story.
Of course, there are other Room reviews out there, and actually watching the movie beats watching a review. It's that funny, but I have a soft spot for this review in particular because it was my entryway into the greatest bad movie of all time.
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you.
You didn't know it was him? You didn't recognize the 5-foot girly-haired French zombie until he took off his sunglasses? Hello, I would like to buy a dozen roses.
Hey, jackass! I'm closing the store in 30 seconds!
Here's the money. Keep the change. Hello, doggy. Bye.
Number 6, AVGN versus the Nostalgia Critic. This stuff is also very nostalgic for me. I remember finding out about these guys around the same time, and when I found out that there was this years-long fake rivalry, I was obsessed. I probably watched that first brawl in James' basement a million times when I was younger. At this point, around 2008 or 9, this really was special. Creators weren't popping up in each other's videos all that much. This was kind of like the first Avengers movie, seeing all your heroes in one place, and that's what made it special. I still think there's some fun bits in these videos, and the stripped-down production is charming. These guys were just shooting in their basements or in game stores, and they always seemed really excited about it. Number 5, Doug reviews. Again, I just think Doug, when he's actually reviewing something, reviews things well. I don't agree with him on everything, but he's a good presenter who can understand themes and aspects of movies that work well and aspects that don't. He knows how to articulate big ideas. While I don't think he understands everything he's watching, he can make a case for how he's feeling. These are the videos I probably check up on the most. Whenever there's a new movie or something he watches out, I'll go see what he's thinking if it appears on my feed. Number 4, Disney December. This is probably because I'm an alleged Disney adult, but it's nice to know that Doug is too, even though he definitely seems to love it about 10 times more than me. For around a decade, every December, Doug has put out a series of reviews, basically reviewing everything Disney has ever done or the new properties that they own. He started with all the animated films, then live action, and I think in the last few years, he even started covering DComs and Disney Plus shows. I just like to hear his opinion on these things because I also like Disney a lot too. It's kind of dumb, but it's pretty harmless. Number 3, Doug Walker reacting to Oni Plays / critics. This is not anything Doug really made. I just really appreciate this. Doug's gotten a lot of flack in the last few years, deservedly so, and he's sort of a meme amongst people who are always online. Oni Plays is one of the key players in this, and one time in an interview, Doug was asked about Oni and his other critics, and he had a pretty nice outlook on it. I'm sure it sucks for Doug to be constantly ridiculed, but somehow he has a cheery attitude and welcomes it, which is the better way of going about things. You could be Linkara and sound like a whiny baby, or you can take it in stride like Doug. As someone who's criticized Doug, I appreciate this a lot.
What I've seen, I think it's pretty funny. So, screw him.
Number 1. Drew Struzan tribute and Siskel and Ebert tribute. I'm combining both of these because I think they're both high-quality tributes and amongst the best things Doug has ever done. For the first, posters are a big part of how films are remembered, and Doug took the time to showcase this unheralded aspect and show Struzan some love. By doing so, he also accidentally showed love to another artist who never got the credit he deserved because his art style was so similar to Drew's. Doug really took his time and effort here, and he really showcased his love and passion for these posters. On the end of the Siskel and Ebert tribute, this one obviously really hit close to home for Doug, as he's obviously a film lover, but he's also a kid from Chicago. Siskel and Ebert were huge when he was growing up, and even bigger in Chicago where they were from. And you really get a sense of that in this video. Doug really does a good job showcasing every aspect of their relationship, the perceived hatred and the actual inspiring love the two had for each other. And it's probably one of the more emotional episodes, as I think this was for the 10-year anniversary of Siskel's death. And while Ebert was still around, you knew he probably wasn't going to be around much longer due to all of his health issues. Doug treats this all with respect and doesn't try to force in jokes. This is one of the few times the NC felt like a real person and not just a character. It wasn't some guise Doug was hiding under. It was just an opportunity for him to speak about two men who meant so much to him and his career. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it. It's probably my favorite NC video ever, and a great tribute to two of the greatest critics of all time. So that's it. That's my list. What are some of your favorite Doug videos, if you have any? Comment those down below. I hope to be posting more soon, and don't worry, I'll get back to criticizing Doug in no time. I just thought it was time to give him his day in the sun before I put him back in the old critic cave. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you later.
Melvin, brother of the Joker. Melvin, brother of the Joker. Melvin, brother of the Joker. I'm cool.